Okay, we're here to review the Garmin 910 XT. I decided to choose the San Pedro Parks Wilderness. We're at 10,000 feet. It's a beautiful blue sky day with warm temperatures. This is day 2 of our backpack. I have the watch off. It has the ability to be turned on and off, which your other Garmin devices may not have had that ability, watches. At least my 405 didn't. So you can see I turned it on. It goes into its initialized mode, and it's going to start searching for satellites. I've noticed it seems to take it a little bit longer to locate satellites than what I'm used to on my 405 or also on my Garmin 450 GPS. But we can switch modes on it, and I can show you that that's kind of the home screen mode. You can see the icon in the bottom left is the battery icon, and it tells you that I have 3 bars of 4 bars left. They advertise a 20-hour battery life on this watch. I haven't really pushed it to that limit yet, but I probably will here soon to test that. It gives you the time of day in the bottom right, tells you that the satellites are trying to lock, and it gives you a sport mode indicator. You can also go into your history. I'm not going to go into the training mode because that's setting up virtual racers, virtual pace, your data fields, which is all pretty self-explanatory in the owner's manual, and also if you've owned any other GPS devices by Garmin, it's pretty intuitive. One nice feature is you can go into the GPS mode. Oops. You can go into the GPS mode, and you can actually go into GPS status, and you can turn the GPS on or off. So you have to manually do that. It's not like the 405 where it had an activity mode and it would automatically go in and out of it depending on whether you were in activity mode or not. This one you have to physically turn it off, which brings me to some of the things I don't like about the GPS watch. You can't use it like a regular watch. I did set up one of my data fields to be just the time of day, so in case I wanted to use it like that. When I use it like that, I have to turn the GPS off so it's not constantly tracking the satellites and using the battery. But what it doesn't have is it doesn't have the date. You don't have a countdown timer. You don't have an alarm clock, which is important to me. So you can't set an alarm to wake up the next day or anything like that. So you have to have a different plan for doing that. The things I do like is the data fields themselves are nice and large. I have 4 data fields set up with my things that I like to watch. They're easy to set up, easy to change, as I mentioned before. It does have a nice long battery life. This screen is the map screen. It shows you where you're at, and it turns to a compass when you're doing backtracking or when you're trying to locate a waypoint. That's nice to have, but it's not something where you can project a waypoint easily without inputting it. You can't. There's no touch screen. There's no touch bezel like the 405. So, but I do like the larger display, easier to read. The battery life, and one thing I really like is my alerts are not just tone but also vibration, which for me works out great because in the past with my 405 sometimes I wouldn't hear the alert and I would miss it. This one vibrates, and you probably noticed that when I turned it on. I'm going to turn it off now and you'll see it vibrate and hear it ring again. See? And that's what it does, and you can't miss that. It's a great alert tone. So that's the Garmin 910 XT for now. I think it's great at what it does. It's a multi-sport watch, so it's great for triathlons. It has intuitive, easy to use functions, but it's not an everyday watch, and it's not something you could use in the backcountry as your alarm clock for waking you up if you have trouble waking up in the morning like I do. Not everybody does. If you just get up, then you don't need to worry about that. Having a countdown timer is nice too, especially when you're waiting for your food to cook, or you've pilled your water and you're waiting for it to purify. And this does not have that. So a few trade-offs, but all in all I'm happy with the 910. You can see it's taken a while to lock those satellites. Once it did lock, if you heard that buzzing and that ding, it locked. So that's it for the Garmin 910 XT, and from the San Pedro Parks Wilderness on the Palomas Trail, or above it, the water's down there somewhere. Really enjoyed our trip so far. One more day left, so hope you're having a good day too.